The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the Morning Crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
And not being here yesterday, we got to do this.
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everybody sucks.
Yup.
You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, mother. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit. I think you better quit, let it slip, or you'll be leaving with a fat lip.
All right, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
okay.
We're back. We're back. We're back. And it feels good to be back. And we have Limp Bizkit tickets coming up at 8 o'clock. You just heard there. So Limp Bizkit tickets, 8 o'clock. Yes. Right here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101 after, I missed yesterday. A little twisted extra whatever. Boy, I thought I was going to die yesterday at about 3 in the morning.
You thought you were going to die?
I felt really bad. I don't know why. I didn't feel too bad over the weekend. I felt rough, but then all of a sudden trying to get up at 3.
You know what's like funny?
Whoa, what's
is that
funny?
everybody was like, oh my God, is Kenzie okay? Because she was pregnant. She was
Sure.
all those twisted.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, it's just Brian. He's a wuss.
Yeah, sure.
I was fine.
Yeah, let me try to find that cricket sound effect here. Well, how about Brian? Nope, nothing. No. How about
I actually
Kenzie?
made it out. They're like, oh, poor Kenzie with all the stairs and the baby probably caused her body stress. I'm like, Brian called in.
Yep. Nope, it was me. It was my fault.
I didn't feel good either, but I was ready to push through.
Oh, sure.
Nobody wants to work these days.
Tell me you were pretty happy with that text when I said,
Oh
don't
my
come
God.
in.
I'm sorry. Whenever you're sick, I am brought so much joy.
Right. Kenzie goes,
Yeah.
just rolls over.
Everyone's like, feel better. I'm like, feel free to get a little worse. You
Yeah.
know, take your time there. Go to the hospital.
Yeah. Get everything checked out.
Yeah.
Get an MRI.
White rush it.
Yeah. Go get a blood transfusion.
Dig deep. I know there's more wrong.
Yeah,
with
there's
you.
got to be something more wrong. Let's get the whole week off.
You
It'd be
always have
great.
that mole. Go get it looked at.
Damn, that's scary, actually. There is this mole.
I know.
I know. What about that? I have a mole on the
I'm
back of
saving that for when I have like a trip or something that I need more time with. Like, you need to look at that mole. It's getting worse.
You're already freaking me out by saying it now.
I know.
You should held on to it. Now I'm going to get checked. Damn, those moles, man. You got to check those out. They could be something serious. Oh, well, we're back, and we're ecstatic to be here. Check in 312-591-8300. Someone said they thought we were gone until the end of next year. Because some shows do that. They take off, and we're here for a couple more weeks here, so don't worry about
Jesus.
that. That's right.
We can only hope Brian gets sick again. That's our only hope.
No, I'm good. I got all the antibodies lined up. I got some Centrum vitamins they are taking, and
Brian sent this nice text last night. Normally I send something snarky back, but I just left him alone because he was sick.
Aw.
But he sent this nice text. He goes, thanks, guys. I'm honestly feeling a lot better, blah, blah. And I wanted to write, you son of a bitch.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and coming up here in a fact that makes your brain go. So half of Chicago men believe they can do something that you see in a movie. And there's
That doesn't surprise me at all. I think all men believe that they could be action heroes and all sorts of things.
I think so. I don't know why it's so narrowed down to women don't believe this. Are women more seeing a movie and go like, no way could I do that? But men are out there going like, I could do
normally we're
that.
just sex objects in movies, so we're like, well, yep.
That's a little exaggerated.
We're not striving for greatness in the movie.
Not every woman is a sex object in a movie.
Most.
Okay, most, but not all the time.
So, like, yeah, we're aware.
I'm trying to think of.
We know we could sleep with men. We're aware.
Trying to think of a movie where there wasn't a woman as a sex object, or at least
Even the superheroes are sex objects, like Catwoman.
aren't the guys sex objects to the women?
No.
They're good-looking guys. Ryan
Yeah,
Reynolds.
I want to sleep with the Hulk. What are you talking about?
A lot of people want to sleep with the Hulk.
Who?
What's his name? Eric Bana,
I don't know.
the actor that played him. He's a very good-looking man.
Is
Not
he?
when he's all hulked out. I mean, he looks like a normal, good-looking guy.
I don't know. To be honest, the guys in really tight outfits thing doesn't do it for me.
Really?
No.
What do you like?
Not that. I don't need you I don't need you borrowing my pants.
You like camo cargo shorts? You like, sleeveless shirts?
Just something a little
Fluffier?
yeah. You know, I don't need the tight outfit. And they're all egomaniacs. Like, they wear their name on their chest. It's like, okay.
Well, the women wear their names on their chest, too. They
don't.
They have symbols on their chest.
Catwoman doesn't have any symbols.
There's a C on there somewhere.
No, there's not.
I think I've seen it.
Oh, yeah, I bet you've stared for a longer time.
All right, coming up, half of Chicago men think they could do something that you see in a movie that's impossible. You can guess at 312-591-8300. That fact coming up here at 6:30.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, time for a fact that makes your brain just go. Now, this is a survey that was done of Chicago men. Half of them said they could do this that you see in a movie. And I'm not sure who worried about this, but basically it's an interesting fact because half of Chicago men believe they could land a jet plane in an emergency. Just like you see in like Die Hard or whatever movie comes along, that there's a lot of movies where guys
As a guy, when you watch these action movies, are you just like, the end of the world wouldn't want to mess with me? Like, do you just feel like you would be able to save your whole family and everybody?
I used to. Like, for example, watching The Walking Dead. I feel like I'd be a great for the zombie apocalypse. I would know exactly what to do. But then when, like my heat just went out last night again, and I'm like almost dying for this.
Just useless.
Down like 71 down to 67 degrees, and I'm dying. Like, what am I going to do when the zombies come and there's no electricity for years? I'm not going to last.
Well, I asked you because you recently had a guy there to fix it, and he showed you how.
Yeah,
remember?
Yep.
And I was like, did you do what he showed you? And it didn't work.
Yeah, I was supposed to push on it.
So you literally had a live in-person explanation of how to fix it, and you still couldn't.
He said to push on it because the door gets loose and it stops it. And so I did that again, and it's not working. I don't know if I'm a little tired
it's
from
just like
Twisted.
Megan has to be so disappointed. Like, she married this massive human being, and you can't even push on the furnace.
I am certainly a specimen. Look at me, you think I'm a specimen, but there's not much I can do. There's not much I can handle.
No, I've gathered that.
But I still think I could land a plane. I'm with half these Chicago men out there that think they could land a plane in an emergency.
Oh, no, for sure. You can't push on a furnace, but I bet you could in a catastrophe.
Well, I've seen enough movies, and I think you go in there, and there's that big switch in the middle in between the pilot and the co-pilot. It's got 4 nozzles on it that each fader, it's kind of like this board. There's like faders for each engine. And I can steer. I think I can steer pretty well. Like in Chicago icy winters, you turn into the spin when the car starts spinning out. People panic. You turn into it, glide it,
so
get it back together.
So you watch Fast and Furious and think that you just own them all?
Clearly.
Obviously.
Absolutely. I don't know. Case the producer, you're the other guy here. Do you think you could land a plane if an emergency happened?
100%. I think it'd be easy.
Yeah, doesn't it be easy?
Pull this lever, turn this wheel, put the wheels down. Also, autopilot. I just put it on autopilot, land the damn plane.
Autopilot doesn't land.
Yeah, you got
autopilot stays like just in the air, gliding.
They'll figure it out.
Autopilot
they'll figure it out.
does not
No,
land.
you have to figure it out.
Yeah, no, I'll hit the auto land button. It'll be good.
There's no auto land.
Here's the
button.
thing. I think I could easily land a plane.
Yeah.
I don't think it's hard at all.
I don't know if there's any pilots out there that can verify this. Is it easy? Or people, 312-591-8300.
I don't think so, because you've ever been on a plane with a certified pilot, and it's still like you land and you feel like you are gonna die as you're landing.
That's what I mean.
Like it skids a little and your head shakes and it sucks.
Yeah, but there are people with driver's license that aren't good at driving. There are some pilots that are better than others.
Well, yeah, of course there's gonna be pilots that are better. Everything's that are like there's doctors that are better than others. Doesn't make the bad ones. There's no probably bad doctor like surgeon.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how to say that. Like,
what about
you're
the guy?
still
There's always
smarter than the average person.
You ever hear about those stories where you got to put a Sharpie on the leg that's supposed to get amputated and they amputate the wrong one? Like, hey, this is the leg that's bad. And they tell the patient to put the Sharpie on it. Put an X on that one. I think there's some bad doctors out there.
Well, I mean, there's probably bad doctors out there, but they're probably still smarter than the average person. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think when you're talking about, you're all right.
It's like there's professional athletes that don't perform the way you want them to, but they'd still kick your ass in any sport, you know?
I think I could take Zach LaVine when he's on the bench.
Oh, God.
I think I could do that. It's like when you say that about a plane that lands poorly, especially at O'Hare, it seems like when you're coming in and you go over all the homes, especially at Midway, really, when you see all the houses, you think you're going to hit a house and it's shaking. I think those pilots are kind of saying up front, hey, check it out. I bet I can land the plane with my feet.
No,
That's
I
what-
don't think anyone's doing that.
I think that's what they're doing.
That'd be so cool if there was like an And One Street Ball mixtape tour, but just for pilots landing planes, doing trick landings.
No.
Well, we got-
I just want them to land it normal.
Listen, we got Mike, the certified pilot, on the phone with us right now. Mike Ahoy, welcome in.
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
Good. So it's
Good.
The fact is, to breaks your brain go, that half of Chicago men think they could land a plane, and it's pretty easy, right?
It is absolutely not easy.
Okay. Hey, can you turn on your radio? Hey, Mike, turn on your radio for a second there. We're hearing a little backup there. Turn that down. I want to hear you clearly explain how to land a plane.
Okay, so the process, you're going to have to contact ground control.
Okay, that's been just me like texting him saying like, "Hey, I'm going to land."
Yeah, you're going to text.
Okay, that's easy.
First off, your
you were
phone
to-
should be on airplane mode. Idiots.
Okay, take it off airplane mode
No.
and then text them saying, "Hey, I'm landing."
No, there's a button in the center area, right by the radio area that you call out from. It's going to say COM 2. You want to hit that immediately
Okay, I can do that.
in this emergency because that's going to connect you with the nearest tower. Then from that point, you'll be able to talk to somebody who's going to be able to talk you through the process of actually landing the plane.
See, but if someone can talk me into landing, that's pretty easy. I have no training, but if you're telling me someone can talk me through it, then it's kind of like, getting your dishwasher thing cleaned up because inside the thing that gets jammed up.
Someone talked you into how to fix your furnace, and look at you, broken as hell.
Hey, stop laughing, Mike.
Brian, there's a screw too on the front of those furnaces. Usually, you screw that thing in, and it'll light up red, and that means it's on.
Okay, forget about the furnace for a second. Let's go. Let's go back to landing the plane. So you talk to the
Which
com
would be
people.
much easier than the whole furnace thing.
Sounds like it.
It's going to give you the nearest tower, so you'll be able to talk to somebody there, and they're going to be able to work with you as far as controlling the aircraft and getting it. Usually it's called a 30-degree turn, so you're going to be on a bank, and they're just going to make you spin circles until they can figure out what they're going to do. And then after that,
Do they panic when they get that call? Like, hey, flare around in circles around the Sears Tower, like it's a tether ball, and then we'll figure it out from there.
they'll talk you as to how that process is to get that aircraft onto the ground. But yeah, the autopilot, auto land, that doesn't really exist. Autopilot will only work at cruising altitudes. It won't engage.
Got it.
So once you're actually below the flight curtain, you're not going to be able to use that button anyway.
Have any planes crashed doing this and everybody died?
What the hell?
God.
What is
Actually, yeah,
wrong
there
with
has
you?
been a few collisions, but for the most part, there's been multiple people that have had to land a plane in an emergency that had zero flight experience.
Yeah, so it's not too tough.
Why? You're not even good at radio. That was the worst question you could have asked, and you think you're going to be good.
Why was
would
that
you
the worst
say-
question? I'm great at radio.
Some
That was a great
horrible-
question.
Some horrible, depressing question.
I'm trying to get
You just
accuracy.
caused PTSD for some poor listener.
Oh, I did not.
Yes, you did.
If that person's there, they can call up too, and I'll talk them through that.
No.
The PTSD.
Yeah, you'll make them feel a lot better.
I just want to make sure so far he's saying it's a total success rate of people landing planes.
It's a total success rate.
Yep, there's been no deaths. There's been no deaths.
That's not what he said.
I would not say that. I would say that is more often successful.
I want an example where it wasn't. That's all I'm asking as a good journalist.
You'll have to Google your own research on that one, Brian.
Oh, it's too bad you can't
He'll
Google
just
for
do
me.
it when he's in the air trying to land a plane.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. It's kind of a bonus fact here today because we weren't here yesterday. And here we go. Yesterday, Monday, December 11th, was the busiest breakup day of the year. Now, we're 3 weeks from New Year's Eve, 2 weeks from Christmas. And
that adds up to me.
so a lot of people figure you can't break up the week of Christmas. And somehow, with all the averages, that yesterday became that big breakup day where it's enough before Christmas where you don't have to spend time with the person you know you're going to break up with for a fresh start in 2024.
See, I don't think it's that.
What do you think it is?
I think the conversation, okay, Christmas is 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
I think people, now if you don't live local, you have this conversation earlier, right? Like if your family lives somewhere else,
Where are
the
we going to
conversation-
go for Christmas?
Right. But I think, say you guys both have local families, the conversation now starts with, are we spending Christmas morning together and then seeing our families? Are we going to my family and then going to your family? New Year's Eve plans. Are we going to go with my group of friends or your group of? I think that discussions are happening. And those discussions are leading to like, I'm not ready for you to meet my family. Or I don't want to buy you an expensive gift, which you probably don't say, but also, or I kind of want to be single at this club thing because maybe I meet somebody I like even more. I think all of that becomes very apparent because this is like the certified cuffing season energy, right? Because this is where relationships kick into high gear. Full-blown family time, gift giving, midnight kisses. You're gearing up for Valentine's Day. If you do all those things, you're round to the corner for Valentine's Day. Somebody's your Valentine, forget about it, okay, right?
Yup.
That's some couple crap right there. So I think that it's like, ooh, like this is the time. You got to get out of it now.
You've got to make a decision. You've got to be firm and say, like, listen, am I in this or am I out? And that's why yesterday seemed to be that pivotal day where most people break up. Oh, the whole year, too, by the way.
This is what happened to my husband right before he met me. So we met at the very, very, very beginning of February, like 5 years ago.
Okay.
Like this February would be 5 years ago.
All right, congratulations.
There you go. But, and he was like, ready to get, he told me the first night I met him, he's like, we're going to get married. And I'm like, woo, I was literally dating someone. I'm like, you're a lot.
Yeah.
You're a lot to deal with. And he always goes, well, guess who was right? I'm always right, whatever. So anyways, he had like casually been seeing a girl, but they didn't match up. So this girl was like, we should get married. I'm in love. And he was like, I literally go on dates with other people, but
You did. So after he said that to you, you still went on dates with other people because he was kind of.
So he was seeing a girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was ready to get married. Totally.
Yeah.
Like she like adored him. His words. I don't know. You know what I mean? We'll see.
Guys don't use adored very often.
You know what I mean? Like, it was all
Case, when's the
into it.
last time you said somebody adored you?
Never, not once. 24 years on this planet, I've never been adored.
We'll see. She probably hated him. But anyways.
Oh, adored. I love it. Such a
Let
woman
me have
word.
her back for a second. She was probably like, not that interested. But anyways, so
that's great.
she was really ready to get in a serious relationship. And around this time, because you're getting near the holidays, you're getting to New Year's, she said to him, because he was still dating other people. It was not just those two, but she was like the go-to, like, oh, I have an extra concert ticket, or I have somebody you casually see.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm not going into the new year being casual with you. Like, it's not going to happen. So you're either going to be my boyfriend on New Year's Eve. She gave him an ultimatum. You're either going to be my boyfriend on New Year's Eve, and then we are together. There's nobody else, or we're not going to be together. And he was like, well, I'll see you later.
All right,
Which
then.
is gonna sting a little bit. The ultimatum, you got to be ready. The thing with ultimatums is they can work, but you got to be ready.
Yeah. You got ready to hear the, okay, buddy.
He's like, that's
Buddy,
fine with me because I'll just be single on New Year's.
You just,
Sounds great.
you keep on trucking. Keep on
And he
carrying
goes,
on.
it was awesome. He goes, because then I didn't have to. He goes, I was so excited she gave me an ultimatum because then I didn't have to buy a Christmas gift. I'm like, you're evil. Because he goes, I felt like, oh, do I have to get her something like little, like a gift card, whatever. So he was so grateful, though. He was like, I am so happy. He goes, if you weren't ready to marry someone, if you didn't see a future with them, I never thought you should get into like a boyfriend, girlfriend, because it stops you from meeting somebody that you would want that type of relationship with. And he met me like a month and a half later.
Wow.
Or yeah, about a month and a half
Whatever,
later.
2 months.
Yeah. And so, because it was very beginning of February, so like a month and a half later. And I would have thought he was the worst person in the world if he had a girlfriend and was hitting on me. I would have been like, oh, you're scum. I'm not dating you. So he's like, I'm so happy I stuck with that and didn't just go, it's fine, whatever. Like, I don't want to be a jerk because he's like, I would have never like been able to pursue our relationship and end up like finally wanting to marry somebody.
Well, I wonder how many people out there meet that, like the person when they're with somebody else as opposed to breaking up.
I think that happens to a lot of people.
I think it does too. And then you're kind of like, timing isn't messed up,
I think a lot of people fall into it. And I get it. I mean, it shows you have a good conscience. I understand. I think a lot of people fall into guilt or like, well, nothing's wrong with this person. They're attractive. They're a good person. Like, something must be wrong with me. But there is that, like, that fire, that chemistry when something's, like, clicks. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where some, not all, because some cheaters just are the worst because they're just cheat. They're just with everything out here. But I think that some people, they do settle because they're like, maybe I don't get those feelings. Maybe that's just not me.
Well, some people you can grow feelings too. Like you don't know, like you said, you don't know what you're going to be in the beginning.
You can care about somebody but not be like super in love with them. Like,
yeah.
And sometimes I think people who haven't been super in love, you don't know how to decipher the difference. You're like, well, I care about this is probably that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that feeling does hit, I think that's when you see some of that. And some people who push it, they get married really young, they meet someone really young, and then they get into like their 30s and they're like, oh, this is that feeling. I am capable of it. And then they're stuck in those scenarios.
Listen, I wasn't capable of it till Megan, till I got married very later. I thought I loved people, but I didn't know what love was. I said that very clearly, that Megan taught me what love was, because I didn't know. I just kind of lust or just kind of hard I guess, feelings. A hard like. Didn't Facebook have a super
Big
like at one
up.
point?
Yeah, I think so,
They took it away. They used to have a super like on Facebook. That's kind of what it was. It's not like love. And then I realized what it was. And Megan taught me that. It's the only person I've ever had that feeling with after all of
See, my husband, he goes, I never, and he said this the night we met. He was like, he told me this part later, but this is how he felt the night. He goes, everyone always told me, when you know, you know. And because he was in his 40s, he's like, maybe I just don't have that feeling. Maybe that's not for me. And then the night we met, he was like, oh. And he's like, this is that. Like, now I know that feeling now. But he was very happy that he waited.
You'll know it. You'll know it when you feel it. But all those people, I'm curious if anybody broke up yesterday. Anybody did? Because yesterday was the biggest breakup day of the year. And no Christmas gift, fresh start, all the things we're just talking about here, that you don't know what the universe is going to bring you.
And let me tell you something. If whoever it is, I don't care. If they break up with you right now, okay? They break up with you before the holidays, Valentine's Day, and they circle back to your ass in the spring, do not answer that call, because that's some like, okay, good, I've bypassed all the responsibilities and now I can mess around all summer and have fun.
Well, you got to give them a mulligan. You got to give them a mulligan maybe once. If they do it again, two times, then you know it's a pattern.
Unless they come back like with commitment, like if they come back to you and they're like, I want to settle down, I want to get married, I've made a huge mistake, maybe baby. But besides that, if they're like, let's just dabble again for the spring, because they left your ass without a nice dinner and some nice presents. Don't play that game.
So all you're looking for is a
Coming from experience.
Yeah. Hey,
Don't let them dip their toe in that pond. It
Kenzie's got to eat. Yeah, girls got to eat good dinner.
Uh-uh.
Well, I'm curious if anybody broke up yesterday. Let us know. We'll talk about it. It's Pride and Kenzie on Q101, 312-591-8300. In the meantime, it's Gil Curtis.
This is not headline news. The Golden Globe nominees were announced yesterday morning. Margot Robbie is nominated for starring in Barbie. Your Bladder is nominated for surviving Killers of the Flower Moon. Taylor Swift has made over $1 billion on tour this year. And she can't pay off a couple NFL refs? Come on. Experts say almost half of dogs are overweight. Fortunately, there's a new product, Bone Zempic. Math scores for U.S. teens hit a record low, but the teens aren't bothered by it because they don't understand percentages. And Cardi B and Offset have broken up. Call me overprepared, but I've had that headline written here in the studio since 2018. This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.